So let's look how we can put in the center of a donut chart text in Chart.js 4. So let's start to explore the Chart.js donut text inside. To do this, I have the border template here. As you can see, I get this border template from this specific website, chartjs3.com, getting started. So now, what we want to do is convert it into a donut chart. So to do that, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to indicate here donut as the type, and of course remove all the scales because a donut chart has no scales. So now we have this. What I want to do now is create a custom plugin. So I'm going to say here plugins, put in here bracket, and we can call this our donut label. Let's copy this, and then what I want to do is here constant donut label equals ID, and the ID will be equal to donut label, and then we're going to say when would we like to draw this. We will say this before data sets draw, meaning we can draw the text in the center before we draw the donut arcs or the donut slices. So once we have this, I want to say here chart arcs for the arguments and then the plugin options. So once we did this, I'm going to do an object destructuring constant ctx and then here comma data equals the chart. If you don't understand what I'm doing here, I'm going to recommend you the video Chart.js object destructuring. So once I did this, I'm going to say ctx.save to save the variables. If I save this, refresh, nothing really happens, but we are now allowed to draw within the canvas here. And what I want to do is draw in the center the value. To do this, what I need here is the coordinates at the very center. So for that, I'm going to say a constant x coordinates equals, and then I'm going to use a built-in Chart.js function. First of all, I will say chart dot, which is the argument here, and then what I'm going to say here, get the data set meta index 0. Why index 0? We only have one data set here, so that's only one, so that's index 0. Then we're going to say here dot data index 0 for the value, and then once we did that, I'm going to say here dot x. That's for the x coordinates, and then I'm going to copy all of this, put that in there, say y, here y coordinates, and then we get exactly what we are doing here. Both of them, they will give us the center here, because that's how the rotation of the donut chart works. It calculates the center, no matter which data point we get, it is the center here that's important, and that's what it extracts immediately. So now we did this. What I want to do here is to fill up the text. I'm going to say ctx.font equals. We're going to say here, this is a string value. I'm going to say here we want a bold font, 30 pixels. And then we're going to say here the font family will be sans serif. Once we did this, I want to say next thing is the ctx.fill style with capital S. And what I want to do here is to define a color. To get a color, I'm going to just do it quite simple. I'm just going to grab a single color here, which is a solid blue color now, and that's fine for me. Once we did this, I'm going to say ctx.fill text, and then we're going to start writing here a few things. The text, the x and y coordinates. So basically, by default, we have the text here, then we have the x coordinate and the y coordinates. So luckily, we already have the x and y coordinates ready. So I'm going to grab this, put them in here. Next, what I want to do here, I'll make this just for now a dummy text by saying text. If I save this, refresh, you can see we are now in the center, but you might say we're not really exactly aligned. That is correct, because we're on alignment left, meaning ignore the left side, push it all to the right. So what I'm going to do is two items. Number one, I'm going to say yes, ctx.text align will be equal to center. And it's a string value. If I save that, refresh, now I think we are in the center, but just to be sure, I want to have the baseline on the center as well. So I'm going to say ctx.text baseline equals middle, and that's a string value as well. Middle, save, refresh, although it did not move anything, but that's more better. Of course, what I want to do here is I want to get the value of, for example, the Monday. And then what I want to extract as well is the Monday variable here. So how do we do this? Well, if you want to have it, all what you have to do here is we have here the data object. So we're going to say data dot labels, and I'm going to do here index 0. Why data.labels? This data object is a direct reference to the above, and then the labels getting the Monday like that. So once I did that, we're not done yet, but then the next thing is eventually I want another value. Because I want to concatenate, I'm going to use here template literals, so I need here backtick. $sign. I'm going to make this a variable, colon as a string value, and then I'm going to say here another $sign. I'm going to say here data sets index 0, and here data index 0 as well. What we're doing here is basically going all the way here from data to dataset and then data index 0, which is value 18. So let's save this, refresh, and there we are. We have now our text.